whilst the reciters, although pious, did not, as they did not have the same level of hunger and focus. We should therefore try and hear the Srimad Bhagavatam with the same level of surrender, eagerness, enthusiasm, and rapt attention. It is said, by simply hearing the transcendental sound vibrations of Sanskrit verses alone of the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, one can be cleansed of all our sins and enliven our bhakti. It is our humble request that for the next 15 minutes during the recitation, let us completely switch off from everything else material that may be going on in our lives, and let us completely immerse ourselves within the following verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Please close your eyes and meditate upon the beautiful lotus feet of Sri Govinda. And please listen to the verses not only with your ears, but also with your hearts. And then see the magic of how the Srimad Bhagavatam comes alive and experience the transformation which takes place in our hearts. Let us transport ourselves onto the banks of the Yamuna River, nestling amongst the great sages, wherein Sukadeva Goswami is speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. We will be reciting today in all the Sanskrit verses initially. So if the administrators could please follow the Sanskrit verses. And we'll then come back and do the English translation. We're going to recite the entire chapter 1. Can we please humbly request that everyone remains on mute throughout, and that the administrators please mute anyone that may be joining, so that we can have a nice experience today. Me and my family forgive any, ask your forgiveness in advance for any errors we may make today, or any offenses may have caused. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udrya. Shrinvatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vidayantosti Abhadryani Vidunoti Suratsatam Naste Prayashvaya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhagati Bhagati Naishtati Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayeti Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataram Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Paramanandam Madhavam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atha Prathamaskandaha Prathamodhyayah. Janmadyasya yatonvayaditaratah Chartheshvabhijñaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yatsurayah Tejo Varimradam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Sargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastakuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सत्यो हृत्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नैमिषे निमिषक्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनकादयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसममासत त एकदा तु मुनयः प्रातर्हुतहुतात्मयः सत्कृतं सूतमासीनं पप्रच्छुरिदमादरात् ऋषयोऽचुः त्वया खलु पुराणानि सेतिहासानि चानघ आख्यातान्यप्यधीतानि धर्मशास्त्राणि ज्ञान्युत यानि वेदविदां श्रेष्ठो भगवान् बादरायणः अन्ये च मुनयः सूत परावरविदो विदुः वेत्थत्वं सौम्य तत्सर्वं तत्त्वतस्तदनुग्रहात् ब्रूहि स्निग्धस्य शिष्यस्य गुरवो गुह्यमाप्युत तत्र तत्राञ्जसायुष्मन् भवता यत् विनिश्चितं पुंसामेकान्ततः श्रेयः तन्न शंसितुमर्हसि प्रायेणाल्पायुषः सभ्या कलावस्मिन् युगे जनाः मन्दासु मन्दमतयो मन्दभाग्या ह्युपद्रुताः भूरीणि भूरि कर्माणि श्रोतव्यानि विभागशः अतः साधोऽत्र यत्सारं समुद्धृत्य मनीषया ब्रूहि भद्राय भूतानां येनात्मा सुप्रसीदति सूत जानासि भद्रं ते भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः देवक्यां वसुदेवस्य जातो यस्य चिकीर्षया तन्न शुश्रूषमाणानाम् अर्हस्यङ्गानुवर्णितुं यस्यावतारो भूतानां क्षेमाय च भवाय च आपन्नः संसृतिं घोरां यन्नाम विवशो गृह्णन् ततः सद्यो विमुच्येत यद्बिभेति स्वयं भयम् यत्पादसंश्रयासूत मुनयः प्रशमायनाः सत्यः पुनन्त्युपस्पृष्टाः स्वधुन्यापोऽनुसेवया को वा भगवतस्तस्य पुण्यश्लोकेड्यकर्मणः शुद्धिकामो न शृणुयात् यशः कलिमलापहम् तस्य कर्माण्युदाराणि परिगीतानि सूरिभिः ब्रूहि न श्रद्धधानानां लीलया ददतः कलाः अथाख्या हि हरेर्धीमन् अवतारकथा शुभाः लीला विदधतः स्वैरम् ईश्वरस्यात्ममायया वयं तु न वितृप्याम उत्तमश्लोकविक्रमे यच्छृण्वतां रसज्ञानां स्वादु स्वादु पदे पदे कृतवान् किल कर्माणि सह रामेण केशवः अतिमर्त्यानि भगवान् गूढः कपटमानुषः कलिम् आगतमाज्ञाय क्षेत्रेऽस्मिन् वैष्णवे वयम् आसीना दीर्घसत्रेण कथायां सक्षिणा हरेः त्वं न सन्दर्शितो धात्रा दुस्तरं निस्थितीर्षतां कलिं सत्त्वहरं पुंसां कर्णधार इवार्णवम् ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णे ब्रह्मण्ये धर्मवर्मणि स्वां काष्ठामधुनोपेते धर्मकं शरणं गतः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां प्रथमस्कन्धे नैमिषोपाख्याने प्रथमोऽध्यायः श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द
Text 1. Translation. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudha, O all-pervading personality of Buddha, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge onto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth.
Text 2. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one is attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart.
Text 3. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
Text 4. Once in a holy place in the forest of Nanisaranya, great sages headed by the sage Shonaka assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees.
Text 5. One day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Srila Sutta Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters.
Text 6. The sages said, Respected Sutta Goswami, You are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life, and in the Puranas and the histories as well, for you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them.
Text 7. Being the eldest learned Vedantist, O Sutta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead. And you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge.
Text 8. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them.
Text 9. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general.
Text 10. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed.
Text 11. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all the scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction, their hearts may be fully satisfied.
Text 12. O blessings upon you, O Sutta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva.
Text 13. O Sutta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of God and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters, Acharyas. For one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them.
Text 14. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified.
Text 15. O Sutta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use.
Text 16. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord?
Text 17. His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narad sing of him. Please, therefore, speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations.
Text 18. O wise Sutta, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations. Such auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, are performed by his eternal powers.
Text 19. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationships with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment.
Text 20. Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, along with Balram, played like a human being, and so masked he performed many superhuman acts.
Text 21. Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in this holy place to hear at great length the transcendental message of Godhead, and in this way perform sacrifice.
Text 22. Just so that we may accept you as captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being.
Text 23. Since Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. The sense that Vedanta purpose of the first canto, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Questions by the Sages. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please forgive us for any offenses or mistakes we may have caused. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sailesh Prabhu, Kirti Mataji, and your daughter. May I know her name, Prabhuji? You are muted.
Radhika.
Radhika. What a wonderful, beautiful recitation. Thank you so much for this wonderful feast. You were right. You made the experience extremely special for all of us today. And especially that the chapter has ended, and to hear this nectarian Sanskrit shlokas from Radhika, and to hear the translations from the whole family. It is so inspiring that the entire family is dedicated to Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you so much to all three of you. Hare Krishna. Are the slides visible?
Yes, Mataji.
They are visible? Okay, great. Okay. So we will start with, today we are going to summarize chapter 1 of Canto 1 with blessings of Acharya and devotees. I will try. Actually, I did not get a chance to prepare much. After sending the Zoom link is when I sat down to prepare the slides. And so please forgive my mistakes also today. So we'll start with the Mangalacharan prayers. Please join with me and recite the prayers behind muted mic so we can seek blessings of Acharyas and invoke auspiciousness. Om Agnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Recite a few shlokas also, which are the prayers to Srimad Bhagavatam before discussing. So you can recite, they are on the slide, so you can also recite. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तः स्तोह्यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतां सतां प्रसङ्गान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्तिरुत्कर्णरसायना कथाः तज्जोषनादा स्वपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यते. When you get a chance, it will be nice to read the translations also on your own. I'll share the slides. So today we are doing the overview of chapter 1, questions by the sages, and the chapter starts with the three beautiful shlokas, and all three shlokas are extremely important. They are prelude text 1 to 3. The first shloka is definition of absolute truth, which defines sambandha. Sambandha is what is our relationship with Lord Shri Krishna. Second shloka is glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, which defines abhideya, the process of getting connected to Lord Krishna through Bhakti Yoga. That is the definition of real religion. And the third shloka is invitation to taste the sweetness of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is the goal of our life. Any human being, our goal should be, this is the prayojan to, drink the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thereafter, verses 4 to 8, the sages glorify Sutta Goswami. The sages have assembled for 1,000 years sacrifice to satisfy the Lord and devotees, and they offered a seat to esteemed seat to Sutta Goswami, and they glorified him. And thereafter, from text 9 to 23, sages describe the condemned state of Kali Yuga people, especially the 10th verse, and ask 6 questions expressing their eagerness to hear. So we will see, I know all the verses have been discussed in detail, but because this is overview, we will be just quickly going through the main aspects of all the 3 verses. So this is, we'll try and get the bird's eye view, and we will skip the questions. So I know the class is usually till 8:30. We'll try and finish by 8:40 or so, then 5 minutes maybe if there is time for Q&A, and thereafter there is a couple of announcements to make. So first canto, it consists of important prayers and philosophical themes. There are key lessons to learn here also, and there are a couple of nice lessons to take home at the end, which we will go through. So first and second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, as everyone knows, they are considered Krishna's lotus feet. And the entire Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to Krishna's spiritual body. So the key topics they are described in the first canto is 1, what is Bhakti Yoga? 2, who is Bhagavan? What is the significance and history of Srimad Bhagavatam? Where did Vyasadeva get his inspiration to compile Srimad Bhagavatam? All this is discussed in the first canto. And Vyasadeva wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, as everyone knows, and Narad Muni inspired him. And both the backstories of Vyasadeva and Narad Muni are also described in the first canto. The foremost speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam is Sukadeva Goswami, and the foremost hearer of Srimad Bhagavatam is Parikshit Maharaj. So their backstories are also described, and also this canto introduces us to characters like Pandavas, Kunti Maharani, Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva, Narad Muni, Sutta Goswami, and sages of Naimisharanya. And first canto also sets the right stage for the entire text. It also introduces us to topmost devotees who exhibited the epitome of devotional service, and they are Kunti Maharani, Pandavas, Bhishmadev, and topmost bhakti rasas are also described. The rasa of Vipralamba rasa, where a devotee meets Krishna, and Sambhoga rasa, where devotee is separated from Krishna. So, especially in all the cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the purports of Srila Prabhupada, they are extremely instructive, informative, and transformative, depending on how much the reader takes it sincerely. So this first canto is a feast for all the Bhagavatam lovers and all the lovers of Bhakti Yoga and Bhakti philosophy. So the first 3 verses of this chapter 1 are auspicious invocation before we enter into the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. The first shloka defines the absolute truth. So I will recite the shloka. Janmadyasya yatunvayaditaratashthartheshva vignasvarat तेने ब्रह्महृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरष्टकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. So the first shloka defines the 7 aspects of as absolute truth, who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So the first aspect is Janmadi, and we had discussed that Janma means birth, appearance. It can also mean creation, and Adi means etc. So Krishna is creator, he is the maintainer, and also destroyer of the all the universes, the material universes. So directly or indirectly, Krishna is cognizant of everything. The purpose of everything Krishna knows. That is why he is called Abhigna. As we can see, I've highlighted. Abhigna means all the knower of everything, and Swarat is supremely independent. Then the fourth aspect is Krishna, who has enlightened Brahma right in the beginning of creation. So, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave. From within the heart of Brahma, Krishna gave him the knowledge and enlightened him. Muhyanti Yat Surya. In trying to understand Krishna, even great philosophers, they get confused. And how? Tejo Vari Yatha Vinimayo. So sometimes we see, when we go into a desert, we feel that there is water at a distance, but actually there is no water there. So that is called bewilderment. So Krishna is the one who is the supreme bewilderer. So that is how Tejovari Yatha Vinimayo. And only by his illusory potency, that is called Maya, everything appears to be factual. This material world, the things, everything seems factual. Yes, but it is temporary. We feel that it's going to be there for eternity, which is not the truth. So, Dhamna Svena Sada, Nirastakuhakam, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Supreme Lord stays in spiritual world and he is free from all the illusion. So these are the 7 aspects: Janmadi, Abhigna, all-knower; Swarat, supremely independent, and he is the one who enlightened Brahma. And he also bewilders and confuses the great philosophers. And also, there is an illusory potency of Krishna, which is why this material world is running, and we think that it is factual, but it's not. And Krishna himself, the 7 aspect is, lives and stays in his own spiritual world, and he is free from all the illusion. So these are the 7 aspects of text 1. Then we come to text 2. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaraణam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayonamulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kim Va Pareirishvaraha Sadyo Rudya Varudyate Trakritabi Shushrushuvi Tatshanat. So this second shloka, Srimad Bhagavatam, the qualities of Srimad Bhagavatam are described, and again they are 7. So what is the meaning of Dharma Projita Kaitavo? See, Kaitava Dharma is a pretentious Dharma. It is not the real religion. Sometimes people think that this 4 Purusharth, they are the duties of all the living entities, they are the aspirations, but that's not the real religion. So what the people who are in misunderstanding think is that Dharma means people do their religious rituals. Why? For Artha. Artha means for economic development or money. When they get the money, they want to satisfy Kama, which is they use the Artha to fulfill the sense enjoyment. When they are frustrated, they want moksha. And they think of mostly the moksha impersonal liberation. So this kind of Kaitava Dharma or cheating religion or materially motivated religion is kicked out right in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no place for it in Srimad Bhagavatam because Bhagavatam teaches supreme highest truth or dharma. And what is that? That is the Paro Dharma, which is Bhakti Yoga unto Krishna, pure Bhakti Yoga. So any cheating propensity is kicked out right in the beginning, in the second verse itself. The main dharma of any human being is love for Krishna, because there is no one in this world who loves us more than Krishna, and there is no one whom we love more than we love Krishna. Whether we accept it today, whether we accept it after 10 years, or if we accept it in the second day of Brahma, but this is the truth. That we love Krishna the most and Krishna loves us the most. So Srimad Bhagavatam propounds the highest dharma, which is love of Godhead, Bhakti Yoga. Then, so the first was Kaitava Dharma aspect. Second quality was the Bhakti Yoga is highest. Third is Bhagavatam is understandable by pure-hearted, non-envious devotees of Krishna. Fourth aspect of this verse is that only real truth is described. Not any material truth is described in Bhagavatam. Fifth aspect is Shivadam. Srimad Bhagavatam, the real substance, is described in Srimad Bhagavatam to cause all auspiciousness to all. And the sixth thing is Tapatrayona Moolanam. This Srimad Bhagavatam can uproot threefold material miseries caused by body and mind, by other living entities and higher powers, natural disturbances. So Srimad Bhagavatam can uproot all these three miseries. So does it mean that when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, all our financial, material, health, family problems, relationship problems, will they be solved just by reading Srimad Bhagavatam? No. Srimad Bhagavatam actually equips our consciousness with necessary maturity to see all these miseries as mercy of Krishna. It actually equips our consciousness. A devotee does not experience material misery like ordinary, common, materialistic living entities. They get perturbed, but devotee does not see this material misery as misery. But because Srimad Bhagavatam instills in a sincere reader great faith, love, and devotion in Krishna, because of that dependence on Krishna, because of that faith in Krishna's protection, a devotee is not shaken up or perturbed in the midst of tribulations. That is how Srimad Bhagavatam equips us and removes all our material miseries, helps us to learn and to deal with it in the right consciousness. That is why the one quality of Srimad Bhagavatam is Tapatrayona Moolanam. And the sixth quality is Mahamuni Krute. Srimad Bhagavatam is direct manifestation of Supreme Lord Krishna through his literary incarnation Vyasdev. So Vyasdev is none other than literary incarnation of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. It is spoken from the mouth of literary incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna, who is Vyasdev. And the seventh quality of Srimad Bhagavatam is Kimva Parairishvaraha. What is the necessity of any other literature apart from this? And Kimva Parairishvaraha Sadhyo Rudhyavarudyate Takritabi Shushrushubi Tatshanat. So what does that mean? When we read Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shri Krishna directly manifests within the heart of sincere reader. One will be able to perceive reciprocation of Krishna from within the heart when one takes shelter of Bhagavatam. So these are the 7 qualities of Bhagavatam in the second shloka. And then we come to the third shloka. This is an invitation given to all of us to relish this nectar. This shloka is invitation. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shukamukhadamrutadrava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhurahurasika bhuvi bhavukaha. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to a ripened nectarian sweet fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literature. The ripened fruit is already sweet, but the flavor of that fruit increases when a parrot bites it. So when a parrot bites any fruit, it becomes even sweeter. So here Bhagavatam thus compared is already a nectarian scripture, and because it contains sweet nectarian pastimes and incarnations of Krishna and his devotees. But when Sukadev Goswami spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam, like how a parrot bites a fruit, the flavor and sweetness has increased. So we should drink this nectarian Bhagavatam, the abode of all the rasas, all the tastes. It is so nectarian. And Muhuraho, Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. How long you should drink? Always you should drink. Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka. O experts, O relishers of rasa, please drink this nectarian Bhagavatam. In this way, all of us are invited to taste the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. And these are the first 3 shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, the rest of the chapter describes the scene in which the entire Bhagavatam is described. Suta Goswami is endowed with so many qualities, and the sages glorify him, and they are very eager to hear from him. The 6 questions will be asked, and there are 2 lessons from the character of sages of Naimisharanya. So, Sutta Goswami heard Srimad Bhagavatam when Sukdev Goswami was speaking it to Parikshit Maharaj, right? Everyone knows. That Sutta Goswami narrated Bhagavatam to sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Saunaka Rishi. So they all assembled and gave high elevated seat to Sutta Goswami. And they told him, Sutta Goswami, you are Anagha. No sin, there is no sin in your heart, and you are the knower of essence of all the Vedic scriptures. So now we are here, they are glorifying Sutta Goswami. This is how a great personality is approached. We first glorify, and in a very submissive, humble mood, we seek to hear the nectar of the scriptures from a great personality first by glorifying. So they are saying that you are Anagha, you are knower of essence of all the Vedic scriptures, you are Akhyatani and you are Adhitani. So you have the knowledge and you know how to even explain that knowledge. And Sutta Goswami, you are Snigdha and you are Somya. So our greatness, it doesn't depend on how much knowledge we have, or it doesn't depend on our scholarship, right? A devotee should have an internal qualification. And what are they? They are Snigdha and Somya. So a devotee should be very simple and pure at heart. And in one's personal practice, a devotee should be very sincere in his devotion. Snigdha also means submissive. So a devotee should be submissive and surrendered to his gurus. And one should not be envious, duplicitous, or one should be very plain and simple-hearted. So this is the quality on a personal level. And on secondly, our dealings with our superiors, we should be very submissive. We should have service attitude. So if we have this, then these are the good qualities of a hearer and speaker of Bhagavatam. So sages of Naimisharanya are saying to Sutta Goswami that you are endowed with all these qualities, and after glorifying him, they ask him 6 questions. So what are these 6 questions? We've all heard all this time and we all know. Just to quickly summarize, the first question asked was, O Sutta Goswami, what is the ultimate good for all people, for all humanity in general? Please tell us. Now, sages, they are genuine well-wishers because the Kali Yuga is coming and it is approaching fast and it will become prominent as time goes. So the sages are very concerned for all the people of Kali Yuga. Hence, they are asking this question out of complete compassion. And because they thought that we have asked this first question, so Sutta Goswami might describe all the scriptures to us. So anticipating such answer, what they said is that please describe essence of all the scriptures. So they did not want to go through the entire scriptures, all of them, but they just wanted to know the essence. So after asking the first question, they quickly ask the second question, that please describe essence of all the scriptures. Now here also there is a deep meaning and compassion of sages, because they knew that if Sutta Goswami explains all the scriptures, then Kali Yuga people, their memory and their understanding is not going to be that great. And for that, the 10th verse was recited, that Prayinalpayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha manda sumandamatayo mandabhagya hyupadrutaha. So this verse, 10th verse, describes the qualities of Kali Yuga people. And the translation is, O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. So if this is the case, then they won't be able to understand so many scriptures. So just tell us the essence. So that's the second question. The third question is, my dear Sutta Goswami, what is the purpose of Krishna's appearance as son of Devaki? So they wanted to know what is the reason, because Krishna is unborn, right? Krishna did not take birth, but why did he come? What was the reason for him to appear as a son of Devaki? So, and then the fourth question is, my dear Sutta Goswami, we want to know about Lord's incarnations by which he creates, maintains, and destroys this material world. So this question they are asking is on the Purusha Avtaras. So Purusha Avtaras their activities are creation, maintenance, and destruction. So these are the activities of Mahavishnu, from whose bodily pores unlimited universes come out. In each universe, then Garbhodakshai Vishnu enters, and then so many living entities and so many different species, they take birth, and within every living entity's heart, and not only living entity, but in any object and even atom within that, Lord enters as Shirodakshai Vishnu. So the fourth question is basically they wanted to know the activities of Purusha Avtaras. And then the fifth question they are saying, please describe the Leela Avtaras. So once the universe is created, Lord descends into this world in various forms within the universe. Rama, Narsingha, Varaha, Matsya, these are the Leela Avtaras. So they wanted to also know about that. And the sixth question was that now that Lord Krishna has gone back to the eternal abode, where did Dharma take shelter? So they wanted to know that because Lord Krishna departs, then Kali Yuga starts, then what happens to Dharma? Where does Dharma go? So basically, these are the 6 questions asked by sages of Naimisharanya to Sutta Goswami. And the answers to this will be given in 2nd and 3rd chapter. So this is how the first chapter ends. But here, I just wanted to quickly mention that we should learn not only because, see, Srila Prabhupada's purports are very transformative, depending on how deeply we go into it and try and understand the characters. If we just try to understand it as stories, then we won't be able to take any lessons home. So from the character of all the sages of Naimisharanya, because in this canto mostly they are speaking and asking questions, the first lesson that comes to surface is that we can see and learn from the sages that how great souls are compassionate on common people. They expressed deep concern for all the humanity in general. They were concerned about all the people, about us. And that is why they have asked all these questions for our benefit. And the second lesson we can see from here is that in this whole process of asking questions, sages expressed their conviction in the entire process of hearing from great souls. They were so convinced that this is the way to learn the real religion and to learn what is the basis, what is the main goal of life. And for that, we need to start with Shravanam, right? All the activities of Bhakti Yoga, we need to do Shravanam. And so they had a great conviction in this. That is why they assembled and sat down so nicely, and they gave an elevated seat to Sutta Goswami. And they are asking all these questions, not for themselves, but for all the people in general who are going to be facing so many challenges in Kali Yuga. So, and the glorified Sutta Goswami, he is a learned devotee, and from whom sages were so eager to hear. So eagerness is another quality. One should be very eager to hear about the pastimes of Krishna and glorification of Krishna, because that is the most purifying. Shravanam, it goes in our ears and enters the heart and purifies the anarthas within our heart. Then if it's purified, Krishna can sit there nicely. So the Naimisharanya sages, yes, they were very eager, and while asking questions, sages expressed their deep faith in the holy name of Krishna and the purifying potency of the holy devotees. So not only the holy name, but the holy devotees, they have a great purifying capacity and potency. So, and then we can see that the holy rivers, right? People go to holy rivers to take bath. They want to purify their consciousness, and the holy rivers purify consciousness of common people. But holy devotees, they are holier than holy rivers. They purify our consciousness to a much greater degree. So when we take bath in a holy river, we may get rid of sinful contamination or sinful reactions. But when we take bath in the nectarian qualification of Krishna coming from the mouth of pure devotees, Sutta Goswami, Sukadev Goswami, Vyasdev, when we are hearing from them, when we are learning from the purports of Srila Prabhupada, what happens is that all these pure devotees, what is coming from their mouth, all our sinful proclivity is completely gone. So sinful reactions comes later, but sinful proclivity means it's actually the desires that's within our heart. So even before we attempt or take action on those desires, they are from the seed level itself can be destroyed. So that is the potency of hearing from pure devotees. That such sinful desires itself get burned, and if they are in the form of the seed, then the seed gets fried. Like when the seed is fried, if you put it in the mud, it's not going to grow into a creeper because it's fried. So from the root itself, it gets burnt. That is why sinful proclivity is completely gone when we hear Bhagavatam from pure devotees. So thus, holy devotees are holier than the holy rivers. So in this way, sages asked 6 questions, and these were the 2 lessons I thought that I could mention here, that we should have conviction in the entire process of hearing Bhagavatam. We should have a complete faith in a learned devotee and great people and the pure devotees of the Lord. And also we should learn how to be compassionate on people, like how sages of Naimisharanya were so compassionate on all of us. That's why they asked all these questions. So it all goes hand in hand. You know how we wear a kanthi, all the Vaishnavas wear a kanthi, and that kanthi, it signifies the words of Shishtashtakam, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amani Namanadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Those who are not giving us respect, we give them respect. We do not hanker for any respect. And in a very humble state of mind, in a very humble state of our heart, we chant the holy names of the Lord. So that is what we aspire for. Speaking about myself, really, I do not have any of this qualification, but speaking about this subject matter is beyond me, but I'm just doing this as a service to my Guru, and with his blessings and your blessings, maybe I can purify and maybe one day learn a little bit from what we are speaking. So this is how the first chapter ends. The sages have asked 6 questions, and they have glorified Sutta Goswami, And in the second and third chapter, Sutta Goswami gives answers to all these all these 6 questions. And so here I would like to conclude. It is 8:40, as I said. There is one more slide here that is very, very important slide. This is a message from His Grace Divya Nam Prabhu. I will also share in the group the flyer and the message that if you want to sponsor Chaitanya Charitamrita set, then here are all the details on this flyer, and please do so. Please encourage friends and families to do so also. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna, and it is up to us. If we should be there to take his mercy. His mercy is flowing only. It is we have to just grab it. And so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and gave us the holy name. He also came to show us that how a devotee should be. He came in the form of the mood of Srimati Radharani. And so he is the most munificent, most merciful avatar. So, and it is coming up, God Purnima is coming up coming week on Friday, and this is a very good chance to spread the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I'll share this flyer. And with this, I conclude. If there are any questions, then please go ahead. And then at the end, in few minutes, we'll just make one more announcement. I will ask Mamta Mataji if she is there to unmute. But before that, is there any questions or comments or correction? So I hope it was.
Thank you, Mataji. It was really beautiful. The whole summary by you was as divine as the recitation.
Yeah, we are just repeating, right, Mataji? That is why it is nice, because we are just repeating what Acharyas we are reading and hearing. It's a complete repeat. It is copy paste.
It's repeat, but it's done with the, from the soul, with that feeling that I can't put it in words. Thank you, Mataji, so much.
Thank you for the encouragement, Mataji. I try. I still get nervous till date, but it's a service, and one should always take up the service nicely, and because we should have faith in the Lord, right? We should have faith that we want to do service, he will empower. We are no.
Mataji, some of us do the service, we just do service, and some of us do it divinely. And I must say, you are one of those people. Your presentation is just absolutely divine. Haribol.
Haribol, okay. Thank you, Mataji, for the encouragement. So are there any questions? No? Okay, so then I will ask Mamta Mataji if you are there. Then I know you have some announcement to make.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. My Dandavat Pranams, Mataji, humble obeisances to you and to all the devotees. Thank you so much, devotees, for staying back. And thank you, Divanam Prabhuji, Jyoti Mataji, and the rest of the team. This is a small announcement I would like to make on behalf of Sundarananda Prabhu and Nanda Das Prabhu and Parijata Mataji and the whole team. It is just, before actually doing the thing, I would just like to read a small letter by Srila Prabhupada when he had written to Dr. W.D. Courier on the 19th of June, 1975, Honolulu. And actually he was requesting Dr. Courier that if you're willing to offer your medical services to my students when it is required, that will be very nice. It is important to keep the body fit and healthy so that we will not meet the obstacle of ill health while serving Krishna. Ill health may hinder one's service, so we want to avoid it as much as possible. This was Srila Prabhupada's humble request to Dr. Courier. So with that thought in mind, so Sundarananda Das Prabhu and the rest of the team, they had all come up with this idea of actually having a virtual hospital where nearly up to now, we have got like 140 plus devotee professionals, healthcare professionals from the globe, all over the globe. Just a starting point this is. I'm sure with Krishna's mercy, will be going up much more higher and much more wider. And with that, what has happened is they have made an association called the Bhakti Vedanta Medical Association, which is basically the virtual hospital, and that will give advice to all the devotees, all the ISKCON devotees and the extended families, so that they can maintain good health and then do the services, spiritual and material services, with good health. And that was the main mission of Prabhupada, and we are just his small soldiers trying to follow the mission. So tomorrow is actually a launch of this mission, where we will be, this will be led by lots of senior ISKCON devotees, like His Grace Sivarama Swami, His Grace Radhanath Swami, Sachidananda Swami, Bhakti Rasamrita Swami, and many more. And what they will do is they'll introduce to this vision of BMA, that is Bhakti Vedanta Medical Association, and the role it will play in the future with the ongoing medical care of our services. So it would be very nice if all of you all could join in this historic event with your devotees, with your community friends and well-wishers. At the moment, so this is going to be a website launch where all the information will be there for the website, in the website, in so many areas of care. Just to name a few, it will be adult care, old age, palliative, mental, emotional care, diet, nutrition, alternative medicine like Ayurveda, preventative medicine, women child care, lots of others to follow. And you will be getting advice from healthcare professionals. So like from specialists. So you don't need to go and stand in a queue or something. You can do it at the moment. It will be virtually, means by mostly telephone or through the website. You can get lots of advice. And the main area, the reason why they want to do this is the mission is to basically ensure that all our Vaishnava devotees, they maintain a healthy body, mind, and good emotional health in order to carry out their spiritual services and in the service of Krishna, and also to facilitate lots of support and specific caregiving services globally all throughout the world, and to enhance all the physical, emotional, mental well-being for all our members. So I'm sure all of you will take advantage of this services. And especially sometimes people can't say things, but I'm sure once you get to see what is there on the website, then more things will be added. So this is just an initiative, so small stuff to start off with, but it'll increase more and more. So we're really looking forward to all of you all, and give your support, tremendous support to the launching of the website tomorrow. It'll be really nice if you have more and more members. It'll be more encouraging for all the teams. And then you'll spread the word around, and I'm sure there'll be lots of healthcare professionals coming and joining in, and we can give more extra special services. That's all I wanted to say, Mataji. And I think Jyoti Mataji will, add the link. Or I don't know whether you have it yourself, and all the chat members can.
I had sent it, Mataji. I just sent it.
Yes, Mataji. It'll be around 2:30 p.m. UK time. Yeah. So please make yourself free for that time, and please support us, Mataji.
Thank you so much for that very important announcement. Thank you so much, Mamta Mataji. Definitely, we won't miss it. And thank you for explaining everything. We look forward to it.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. And dear devotees, I will also share the flyer for the Chaitanya Charitamrita sponsorship. So please look into it, and please, encourage others also, friend and family, to do so. So we'll conclude here. Thank you so much for your patience and for bearing with me and for allowing me to speak for my purification. We will conclude here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you.